Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xahhtml Talk Show. Today we are going to code Emacs Lisp live coding. About an hour, several problems, 3 tasks. So let me introduce my keyboard. This is Glove 80, fantastic. I have a review on my YouTube website. This is Ultimate Hacking Keyboard. I use as a keyboard marker, fantastic. And this is Data Hand Svalboard, Svalboard, magnetic switch. So I'm going to use it down the road. I have review on YouTube and on my website. So, but today we are going to code Emacs Lisp. So let's begin coding Emacs Lisp. Okay, I'm using xahhtml keys. As you know, xahhtml keys is a efficient key binding system for Emacs. If you use Emacs, I recommend it. There's a video, there's a tutorial, there's lots of information, customization. Essentially, you don't have to press Control keys. You don't have to press Control X or Meta key. So makes your typing much more efficient, even more efficient than Vim or VI or NeoVim or EvoMod. Okay, so but today we're gonna code Emacs Lisp. If you have questions related to Emacs or about programming, type it. Okay, the pink window shows all my command codes, command code names, and keystrokes. I'm using a Vorak keyboard layout. Okay, let's begin. So let's begin coding. Yeah, so there are a few tasks. So first of all, okay, let me show you what I need to do. So usually in my keyboard, in my when I work on my website, there are about 9,000 original pages written since 1997. So you see there is for example, on this page, United Kingdom layout. Actually, let's show Emacs since we are subject is Emacs. So go to Emacs blog. And let's go to one of the page. Let's say, okay, read file content or as strings or lines. So you see over here, there's a list of related article. For example, buffer. How do you manipulate buffer functions? And you go to the bottom, and then you have read file, all are related, how to read a file. And here is read file as a string or lines. And then you have how to write a file. So all these are related. So let's copy the link and close it and close it. And let's say paste the link here. So, and you go to that page, you go down and you'll see these topic box. Okay, so this is this is the topic box, but there is another one called related box. So let's show that. So search for RLTD. So for example, let's go to Emacs Dev Inefficiency. This is an Asian article, 2010. I discuss how Emacs development is fairly inefficient. Okay, it's an old article. So anyway, you go down. So these are related articles. It's a bit different from the topic box. So anyway, that's that's some detail about. But anyway, so the bottom line is that I have this related navigation box for a bunch of links. So normally the way I do it, so I lots of page has this box, so I need to create it. How do I create it? Right now I use for example, let's extract all the link here, press a key. You can see the command is right there, xahhtml extract URL. I'm using xahhtml mod. If you want it, you pay me, I get donate, and I send it to you. Search for xahhtml, you'll find it. So we just extracted the link, and we can make them all a link and make them a list. Now, so we got this list, and I need to add this div div HTML element with the RLTD class name. So normally what I do, I have a brief RLTD, so you get that. Then I copy that, cut that, paste it here, then show in browser. Then you go down, so you can see, we just created new related articles box. But this is inefficient because, so what I want to do is I want to write a new command. So I just call the command related, IRTD, and press enter, and it will just wrap this IRTD around that. Very easy, okay? So let's do that. So close that. So what I want to do now is write file, close that. Okay, let's start to code it. Emacs Lisp. So I'm using xahhtml-mod define. Let's say xahhtml. This prefix means that's my personal HTML command, not part of the xahhtml mod. So add related box, something like that. Okay, let's just name it for that for now. Version, today's version, okay? And documentation, add a div of IRTD class to current text block, okay? Okay, something like that. So let's begin to write it. So first of all, if you have questions, comment, okay? So first of all, you want to find the beginning and end position of the text block, okay? Okay, I already have that command. So that command would be okay. So let's go find it. So here is all my packages. elisp xahthing. Xahthing is online free. Search for defun. So you got all these functions. It's on GitHub. You search it, you'll find it. So get position a block, okay, or the current text selection. Okay, let's call that function. So okay, let's go back to our code. So let's create a variable xp1, xp2. That means position 1, position 2, beginning and end. Okay, and let's, okay, so then we call this function, and we want to set this to the variable. It returns two integers. That's a beginning and end position. So we want to set them to xp1, xp2. So there's a new let me show you sequence-led. Okay, that's a new function, new about 5 years ago. So you call sequence function and put the sequence here, and the args is going to be, oh, actually I don't want sequence-led. Okay, I want sequence set. Okay, sequence set. Yeah. So argument is the x1, that's the variable name, and the sequence is that. Okay, so this will set whatever this returns. This returns a vector, which is a sequence data type in Emacs Lisp, and they'll set the variable. So this is very convenient. Instead of setting each one, in separate lines, so you set them. So you got the beginning and end position of the block, and then all you have to do is just wrap the HTML div. So let's see, IRTD, yeah. So let's go back, IRTD, yeah. All we have to do is wrap that. So you need to make this escape quote. Okay, so you need to escape the quote, that there. Okay, so you need to insert. So why don't we So first of all, we got beginning and position, and then x text. Okay, so that's a variable. Set x text equals to buffer buffer substring no properties. Okay, then give a positions xp1 xp2 that will grab this block of text into a string x text. Okay, then we grab that and actually delete region this, then delete them, then just insert that, and then insert x text, then we just insert that. Okay, prettify the code. Let's remove the extra new lines. Let's remove that. Okay, that's it. That's our function. Let's double check. Add related box. Okay, add HTML div tag to div tag with class name RLTD to current text block. Okay, so that's it actually. So let's evaluate the code, run current buffer. You can see the command name there, eval last exp, and put this back. Syntax correct, showing browser. That's our code. Will it work? I'm sure it will. We can try it on over here. So coed xahhtml-add-related-box. Okay, do it. You see, fantastic, it works. So now showing browser, there it is, fantastic. So this is convenient. Like before, I have to do RLTD abbrev, then copy whatever, then go here, paste it, then but now we got it perfect. Except we want to prettify, we want the extra line here. So we just fix the code. We want a new line here and a new line here. Okay, fantastic. Eval the buffer, pop it back, syntax correct, and delete that, put it here, delete that. Now let's try it again. Correct, yes, fantastic, beautiful. Okay, that's one job done, fantastic. So now I can, when I work on my lots of my 9,000 pages blog, I can easily create this. I mean, slightly easier, saves you 5 keystrokes also. Okay, that's one thing done. How many people are watching? This YouTube, you need to change the video resolution, the current resolution, which is not supported for this configuration. The expected resolution is, am I doing fine? Am I doing test? If you are watching, test, okay? 10 people watching. So am I like live stream okay? This is YouTube. You need to change the video resolution because I changed one thing. I reduced the latency. So if you are here, oh, there it is. Hello. Okay. Fantastic. So we did the first job. Now let's move on to the next job. So this one we did. So next job is, okay, so let me show you. So you see, since I write, the 9,000 pages HTML manually beginning in 1997, so we, in Emacs, of course, over the past 25 years, I've, started to write lots of Emacs Lisp functions to help me. So, but essentially it's still like manual. I don't use any content managers or org-mod convert to HTML or Markdown. I don't use any of that. And I consider my system more efficient, meaning that less keystrokes to do exactly the same thing. So if you are using org-mod, org-mod like some title, then you press a key to convert to HTML. Or if you are using that Jackal or whatever, Hector or whatever content management system for static website, I'm pretty sure that the way I do it is less keystrokes for exactly the same thing. Okay, for example, if I want to make this a title, I press a key to that. Okay, so in org mod you press shift star and something similar. Okay, so anyway, so there's a command. For example, right now I want to copy the current file path, copy it. Okay, paste it, it's there. Okay, let's do it again. Let's go to some other page. Okay, Softlight keys. Let's go to some other page. Okay, press a key, 3 keys, copy file path. That's the command name. Close it, go back here. Okay, close that, go back here. Okay, that's today's talk show. Go back, paste. So you see, we got this file path. Now I want to link it. Press a key, not that key, press a key. So that's a tab edge with Vora keyboard layout, xahhtml any link. So you got a link, and I can make it a paragraph, undo, or make a list, undo, just like 2 keystrokes. Okay, no control something. So now the next job we need to do is that you have a file. So this file example, let me show you what this is. Okay, so let's view in browser. Let's open in Firefox. Okay, let's view this link in Firefox. Okay, so this is, you can see this is xahttml-add-info. So you see this is a Unicode search. So I can, this is a JavaScript application. So you can type fire. So it will show instantaneously all Unicode names containing the word fire. Water. Okay, very interesting. Smile, all Unicode names containing smile. Latin. Okay, so but I got a problem. So you see, you go to the link, copy the link, and go back to Emacs. You paste it. You see, you got this query string. Okay, now if I make it a link, do it. Okay, wrong key, do it. It works. Okay, so you can see, so now you can press enter, just press enter to go to it, and you can, you have the result there. I don't like this one, so let's change it to fire. Okay, fire. Link it again. Make a list. Go to it. There it is. All Unicode characters containing the word fire. Quite diverse. Emoji and all that, and Chinese characters and Japanese. So okay, that works. However, if this link, if I'm doing, right now this link is HTTP, xahttml-add-info. However, if I'm on, for example, I'm on this, let's open that. Okay, so actually, let's copy this new page, paste that. You see, now I'm viewing exactly the same page, but locally. So it, it's a local file. It still works, this JavaScript application. But however, now if I want to link this into that, into that, it won't work because, for example, copy, so link, it doesn't work. So it says HTML error. So calling xahhtml local file to link, any link error, something file not exist. So it's trying to open this with the query string as a file. So we need to fix that. Okay, so is that clear? I guess that's clear description of the problem. So let's do it. How come you are writing this blog for that long? Because I'm beautiful. Yes, that's true. And because you guys are beautiful. Okay, so we need to fix this function. So what you need to do is that fix this function. Okay, so what you need to do that when a local file link contains a query string, you need to first remove the query string, then link the file, then add back the query string, something like that. Okay, let's begin to write that. Okay, so Emacs Lisp, okay, create a Emacs Lisp block. Okay, go to it, open it, define function. Actually we don't, actually we need to fix it. We need to, there's a existing function here, so we just open that. Okay, so describe function, there it is. Go to the source code, there is a documentation, go to the source code, open, there is a source code. So we need to modify this code. Okay, this is a bit hairy, about 50 lines. Okay, so well, I mean, let's do it. So I mean, this is, this is a slightly larger function, so it's not suitable for a live stream, because then because it's not a simple thing, then you guys don't understand what I'm doing. But anyway, let's do it. Okay, small break. I've been talking for 22 minutes. How are you guys? Subhajit says, Subhajit Mishra. Hexa, just wondering if one can modify the transpose command. Let's see. Wondering if one can modify the transpose command such that if A plus B and put my cursor on the plus mark plus, it becomes B plus A. Are you talking about the transpose command on my website? No, you are not. You are talking about, you are talking about the Emacs transpose command. I don't like those commands. I don't use it. Yeah, so so Emacs has a transpose command which basically swaps the word before the cursor and after cursor. It just swap it. I don't like, a lot of people like that command. I don't use it. But your problem is that when there's a plus sign, you simply want to swap, before the plus sign and after the plus sign. You can write it. You can write it in 10 minutes. Okay, I can show you how to write it in 10 minutes. But I'm not gonna do it now because I got other things to do. If you ching give me $10, I'll do it right now. 10 minutes, you'll have the command. Okay, and the donation, if you guys donate via the YouTube takes half of it. So anyway, so if you want to donate. Okay, PayPal is the best. Okay, so let's go back. You can easily write it. Okay, you can easily write the command because I've talked. So let me show you guys I've talked about coding Emacs for. There are like 50 videos dedicated to learning Emacs Lisp from the ground up. So you just go to Xah Talk Show homepage and Xah Talk Show clips. There's a section on Emacs. So here's a section on Emacs. And there's a section on Emacs Lisp, I believe. So it's pure. Yeah, so all these are from the ground up, my best videos. Each one is about an hour. And so to write that command, it's been covered, like I've been, coding it live for like over 10 times. And you can also find them in my, if you just go to my Emacs website, There's an Emacs tutorial, Emacs customization, init file tutorial, Emacs key binding tutorial, everything you need to know about it. And then after you are familiar with Emacs, you can start to learn Emacs Lisp. So Lisp basics, the number, how do you do a number, string, Boolean, variable, and function, loop, and data structure, list vector, sequence type, hash table, how to write a function. And then once you are familiar with the basic, the syntax of Lisp, variable function, then you go to practical Emacs Lisp. That's when you get to know buffer. How do you buffer position, like what we just did 10 minutes ago. Buffer position. How do you manipulate cursor? How do you move? How do you search text? Text processing. So that's this section. Then so this is most important. This is like what you use Emacs for. Then once you know that, you can move on to learning how to write a major mod. That's when you need to know how to write a directory editor, like directory, or a shell. So we are in a shell, ls. You can write a shell. So this is not about text processing. So anyway, then you can write a mod, major mod, syntax coloring, and all that. So I talked about this a million times. Okay, so if you really are interested in learning stuff, like that's usually what I do. So you can easily find all the information you need. And so back to your question about that, I can recommend you just write a new command. Don't modify the default. And also it's not suitable. Just you can write that in 10 minutes. I can write it in 10 minutes because I've been coding Emacs for 20 years. From scratch you can you can do it in 2-3 hours. Okay, so I recommend you do that. So that's my advice for that question. So okay, go back. So let's see. Xah talk show close. What is this? Xah Emacs blog close. Okay. So right now we need to fix this. Xah HTML local file link. Okay. Okay. So in this case, I won't be talking much because otherwise the code, there's a lot to go through. Basically, what this command do is that it takes a link like that, then it converts it to for example, it takes a link, takes a file path, local file path, convert it to a link. So it's pretty simple. But why do I need, for example, let's open a new file, 50 lines of code. So why is that 50 lines of code? Well, because it actually does lots of things. Because it you have to deal with, for example, sometimes your file path is like that, but sometimes your file path is, let me show you, like that. Okay, you see, this is a URL format, and this is a Windows file path. They have a beginning letter for the drive. So on Unix you have just that. And if you get the path from shell, then your path is let's run a command. Let's go to shell. For example, let's magnify. So if you are from shell, then what you get what is this? Oh, God. Okay, God, Windows, I hate these Windows. They don't show the full path. So if you want to full path, you need to do. Okay, we are digressing a lot. Okay, so this is how you get the full path in Windows. And but you can see they are using backslash. You see, so your command needs to deal with all this case. You know that's the issue with the coding. Like when you learn a tutorial or some advent of code, usually it's totally problems. Very, you just very simple. But in real life, you gotta deal with this. It's easy to do, but it's tedious. You have this, it's just, different cases you have to deal with. Also, this capital C, you see in Emacs, there's an issue. It returns a lowercase c, but typically in Windows, it should be capital case C. So that's why this command is kind of, and this command also does lots of other things. For example, if you don't have any selection, it'll just do that line. But sometimes if your file name contains a paren, which is a valid file name, then it won't work because, so the issue is there is no standard that specifies which character is allowed. It's different on Unix, on Mac, and on Windows. And basically you cannot, there's no programmable way to have it work 100% of the time. So when you have a situation like that, you need the user to make a selection. So when user have a selection, then call the command, then it uses a selection. So that part is, is kind of here. That gets a beginning position and end position. And then there's other complexities. So what if the file begin with HTTP, for example? So let's say copy, okay. So that's one example of file path. But what if the file path is that? You see, these two are exactly the same file, except the first one is local. This one is the, the website. So when you have this situation, you have issues like, so when user call your command, do you want to, for example, let's copy this here actually. Let's create a new file, paste it, okay? So you can link that, wrong key. So let's copy it here, okay? Link it, so you see it becomes a link. Now link it, you see it also becomes a link. However, this link, even though they are the same file, but this link use the HTTP, so you have to make a decision. Sometimes you don't want that. You always want local file should be always relative link. That depends on the website design, so it gets that's why. So this is why this function is 50 lines also. So let's get back to our current problem. We need to, should we do it or should we not? Yeah, I want to do it. So let me just quickly fix it. Okay, so the problem is when you have the, the query string, you want to remove it. Okay, so let's go back. Let me just quickly fix it. First of all, we need to know the structure. Okay, so local file path, right? So, okay, so file path is the file path, okay? Yeah, so we just need to fix this part. And here we are using setq, okay? So we are getting the text input, buffer substring no properties, okay? And then convert HTTP to file path. Okay, but anyway, so this is the input parts. There it is. So the issue is here. So you see, when you have a hash link, sometimes you have a, if you know web dev, this file path can have, for example, this file path can have a pound sign some that will jump to a specific location on the page. Okay, so this line deal with that, but however we didn't deal with query string, so we need to fix that. Okay, easy to fix because I already have a function written somewhere that extract the query string. So let's describe function, jump to that. So this file is HTML engine, and so this function split it URI hash mask. So actually I want to rename URI to URL because URI is like complicated esoteric thing. And the HTML5 standard, they decided, they don't use the URI anymore. They just use URL. This is a big thing among the nerds like 20 years ago. They would argue about how URI is different from URL. Anyway, so there it is. Okay, so right now let's just, so here's a function, split URI query mark. Okay, split the URL href value by question character, return a vector. Okay, let's quickly fix this. Okay, I don't want to, let's just hack it up and I'll deal with it later. For the live stream, let's just hack it. So input parts, then okay, and so yeah, once you split the query mark, then okay, then you, yeah, so actually this is not good because once you split it, you have to take the first part. A ref means take a first part of the vector, the zeroth index. That's what a ref is. And then frag part, that's not right. Well, I mean that's right, but you see the issue is that you don't know whether there is a hash mark. Okay, let me just think about this. Actually, so let's, so all these are set. Okay, so something, let's see. So there's a question, if there's a hash mark and if there's a query mark, which one comes first? Okay, so let's look. Do we have another function that just deconstruct URL? Define list matching lines, define. Pass URL. Okay, so we need to redo all this. Let's say pass URL. So let's answer the question whether the hash mark comes first or the query string. So you go to Visual CSS, you go to JavaScript DOM, That's my JavaScript tutorial. Then you go to, you need parse URL. So DOM methods. So you go to DOM methods, basic examples. Element attribute, add, remove, class attribute, get parent, child, sibling, create node, insert node, change element content, add, remove, handler, no, HTML input, radio box, buttons, no, web scripting examples, okay, that's user interface, and miscellaneous, there it is, parse URL, okay. Get URL, okay, so get URL. So you have search string, query string, and hash. So syntax, okay? Okay, so the query string comes before the hash ID. That answers that question. But anyway, so we're gonna use this xahhtml parse URL. Okay, parse URL, return a hash table. Return a hash table. Result has the following keys. Okay, let's use this. Okay, let's do this properly. Okay, so instead of hack, let's go back to here. So call that function parse URL. Let's say URL hash. Okay, it's just random name for now. So you got a URL parts. Okay, so let's say actually okay, URL parts. Cha-ching, thank you. Thank you, Mishra. I thought you have to go that swap around operator to make a what? Okay, so we passed the URL, so we got URL parts, and then the result is a hash table. Okay, so Jesus. So the result is a hash table. Then you have to, oh God, this is tedious to do, God. Because once you separate it, you have to put it back. Yeah. Okay, let's put the code back. Okay, let's let's escape, shrink back to. Okay, so here's a kind of like the original code. Now let's not touch it. Let's hold on a second. I have a function written before, so let's cheat and look up that function. That would be similar. For example, the function will, for example, copy that, paste. For example, if you have a local file, you call this function, that will turn the local file into a HTML, into a HTTP URL, plus the title of that page. Okay, and that function is xahsite. So let's look xahsite. I think that works on, so when you have a hash mark called xahsite, you see it works. But if you have a query string, so let's try, where is the query string? Okay, we need to get the query string there. Okay, now let's try the query string. If you have that called xahsite, it works. So yes, because it works. So let's look up xahsite. And let's just copy the code. Copy and paste, the most fantastic methodology for programming. If you are doing functional programming, okay? If you are doing OOP, you fucked. OOP copy paste does not, supposedly OOP, the mantra of OOP is that you can just like everything is modularized. You can just copy and paste because the class object. But actually, no. The real magic, the real advantage for copy paste is functional programming because every function is independent, even part of a code. Because every function is, all you do is call function, and every function returns exactly the same thing given the same input. So anyway, so we have it here. There it is. You see how beautiful. Input fragments, that's the hash table. And then, okay, so this is actually manual coding. Fantastic. I'm gonna use this. Okay, so input fragment and fragment 1, fragment 2. Okay, actually this code is incorrect because the query string comes first. Yeah, because I forgot, so the query string technically comes before fragment. But over here, I assume the fragment comes first. Yeah, but usually, practically speaking, this almost never happens. That is, you almost never have the fragment ID with the query string together. So that's why this never run into a problem. So what you're gonna do now? God, this is, this issue is getting all the time in talk show. Hello, Abdullah. Okay, we've been coding 48 minutes. Okay, should we continue? Yeah, why not? Let's solve this. So this is actually a bug. Let's kind of comment bug query string comes before hash fragment. Okay, so we need to take care of that. But anyway, how does this code work? So you get the fragment parts, then you get the query string part, then you normalize and whatever. Okay, so let's not do that. Okay, and let's close that. Let's fix it. Let's just fix this code manually. Okay, so what you do is so again, what you need to do is you have a path with the query string. Okay, so we can just solve this in the most simple way by first checking if there is a query string. Okay, then we can worry about, okay, let's do this the primitive way. Let's just get this fixed. First check if there's a query string, then check if there is a hash mark. Okay, so let's do okay, has query. Okay, let's kind of just hack it up, has hash. Okay, so now we hit if x input. Okay, if string match string match. Okay, if string match, not string trim, string match, not sometimes, yeah, string match. So if string match this string, okay, if it matches a question mark. Now a question mark is a special regular expression, so you need to escape it. So if it contains a question mark, then you just say that. Okay, let's do that. Okay, has query string. Okay, that's one shot to do it. And now similar here. Okay, wait, not pound sign. Okay, clean up the code. Okay, now we know it has or has not. So now has query, has hash. Okay, we need this value because afterwards we need to put it back to combine them. So the input parts. So now we can do this. If has query, then set q input parts. Okay, else do nothing. Okay, so actually let's do this. When okay, fantastic. Okay, so that, and when has hash. Oh, we got this wrong there. Okay, hello big brain, hello big brain. Amazing, thank you. Ching me. Oh, ching, thank you. So if has ching, thank you. So we got that. We got, if has query, then change the input parts. Okay, now if it has hash, then oh wait, that's not all. So hold on a second. So yeah, so this is a bit complex. So if it has query, then we split into two things. Okay, let's check the documentation. Okay, it returns a vector of 2 elements. Okay, oh god, this is getting complicated. Okay, so god, this is getting complicated, and it needs a better way to do this. By the way, I looked into the URL parser in Emacs Lisp. That's not good, that's worse. Okay, so this is actually getting complicated because if there's a query, it's split into a vector, so you got two things. Then you need to set the first part to a variable, then second part to a variable. Then you check the check the second part if it has hash, and if it does, then again you need to split, and it's just too much code. So now let's look back the other function. This seems now sweet. Pass URL. Yeah, but it returns a hash table. All this complicated shit. Protocol origin hostname. Yeah, but this returns too much complicated shit. That's right. Too much splitting. Too much. So if we, the real proper way is actually just use this pass URL, because that's actually the most robust, because the URL may contain www and port number and all that, in practice it doesn't happen much. So if we use this function, then after it's done, you need to combine all these. Yeah, but then that means that means lots of code to extract the hash key. You need to extract the hash key for each one of these key, then string join them together. Oh God. I can just abandon this YouTube video and then because this practical coding is where is our code? Yeah, here. Okay, what are you gonna do? So if we, let's keep coding. Let's just keep coding so that people got something to see. Let's just keep coding so that people get something to see. So this is one way to do it. So, but if you do that, then it is like this. So let me show you. Then it is like this. So so what? What? Wait. Actually, I need to really just think and so I actually need to just think about how to solve this properly. Let's do it then. So you got a query string, and you got possibly a query string and a hashtag. So usually they do not happen, both of them together, but in my case it never happens to have both them together. But in my case, in my website, it does happen. Sometimes you have the query string, and other times you have the hash tag. But in either case, it rarely happens. Like I only have 1 or 2 page has them. So anyway, so the task is to write this, make a link, take a file path or URL to turn them into a link, but preserve the query string and hashtag, and also a local file. You see, all these are local file. You see, if it's HTML, it's much easier. But the thing is, with local file, you need to make a local file a relative link. So you need to, you need to turn a full path into a for example, like that, relative link, full path. And so you need, the reason you need to parse them is because you need the actual file path. And then sometimes you need to verify the file exists. You see, right here, file exists. So that is why you need to take them apart first. But once you have the link, you need to add them back, right? So the situation I have now is that, okay, if I want to solve this completely, I need to make sure to cover the case that both of these happens, query string and hashtag. But in my case, they never happen together. So which way should I do? I can just, in practice, they never happen together, okay? Yeah, in reality, they almost never happen together. Okay, so that's one way to do it. So I just assume one or the other, okay? They never happen together. But okay, that I can do. So the alternative is just more proper way is to not make that assumption. Both of them can happen together. So that is a more proper way. But that more proper way still doesn't cover port number, and also sometimes you have the login string. URL, the protocol is extremely shitty, created by the nerds, from 90s, 80s, and 90s. Like, they go by RFC. It's crap. Extremely complicated. So which one should I do? So if we do the parts, then okay, so if we do this, if we do this, then you got this hash table, origin protocol. Yeah, this doesn't work. Okay, this does not work because the input path is not always a HTTP. It's not always a HTTP thing. So the input is more likely just a file path, like that or that. So if you use HTML parse URL, it's actually a problem. Because file paths don't have port numbers and all that. God. Okay, close that. So maybe not that. Let's look at the XAR site. Okay, let's try the XAR site again. So in this function, we already kind of solved it. However, this is incorrect. Okay, let's do this. Let's just assume this way, okay? Oh, I got it. Okay, so I got it. So yeah, let's do this. I got it. Okay, so now we check query, we check hash, then we check the query string. Okay, then we check the hash. Okay, so the hash, the x input equals to okay, we need a new variable. Okay, so okay, something like that. Okay, so fuck. So actually, if has if has query okay, so if has query string, then input new equals to wait, what's this input parts? Oh god, did we make a backup input parts? So we don't need input new. Okay, so if it has query, yeah, this is not good. What is the input part used? Input parts. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's the parts. Okay, so input parts. God, input parts. So input parts. It's two parts. Okay, so input part is a vector of two elements. Okay, it's a vector of two elements. And then shit. Input parts is a vector of two things. So God, what is this? So what are we doing? So input parts, part 1, frag part. Okay, so file path is the real thing we need, file path. So yeah, ultimately the file path is what we need. So we have frag part and we have query string part. So okay, let's just declare a bunch of local variables. Let's do the easy way. Query part, okay. So, just like that. So it's, temp variable is always like, you can like abuse, temp variable always make things much easier. So let's just use a bunch of temp variables. So file part would be, okay, let's get the vector, get the input parts, and 0. Okay, that's the file part. Then set query part equals to the vector input 1. Okay, so then okay, now I got a better idea. You don't even need to check has query. Let's look at split URI query mark. Okay, so let's look at the describe function. Split the URL by question character, return a vector. So the second part always contains the question, right? Okay, so you simply got it. So here is what we do. So sequence set. Okay, sequence set is fantastic. Okay, fantastic. File part, query part. Okay, so we do that. Then we like remove the whole, make it simpler. Then what about hash? We don't even need to check has hash. Okay, we don't even need to check has hash. So here you split into the file part. So actually, oh God, do you need to check they exist or not? The hash part happens first. Okay, so actually, no, wait. Yeah, the hash happens last. So what we can do is do the hash first. So we get the hash. If there's no hashtag, then it's empty. Okay, so split URL mark hash mark. Okay, split the input and return that file part and hash tag part, right? Then that's right. Then you do split again. So once you remove the hash tag part, you can do the query string part. So here you need to not input. You need to do the on the file part, do the query mark split. Then you got you reset the variable file part and query part. Okay, that's kind of, so in here we have this is a local block. Okay, so now we need to make them into, so where is this Ep551 used? Okay, so now let's copy this whole, because this is getting complicated. Copy this, paste it here, save, make a new file. This is our temp working. We're just gonna work on this so we don't screw up the original, even though we kind of already did things. So here is our code, and so this input parts, this part 1, color them frag part and xpath. Okay, so those are the variables. So xpt1 frag part, this is all gonna be gun because we are doing this fresh. So actually xfrag part we can reuse. So frag is the hash part. Okay, so right, so let's just remove that and rename. Okay, there it is. We got the fragment part, and then xpt1 is like temporary. Yeah, so this, rename this to okay, and that's not a good name. Something like that. Okay, so and let's rename the frag part to hash part. Okay, so let's see. So we got let's make them one line. Hash part, file part, hash part. So you need the query part. Okay, so let's remove that to here. Okay, so we got the query part, color them. So what is this file part? So it's already happened there, so you don't need this. Okay, then do we need this hash query? Not really, because when you split them, if there's none, it simply returns empty. Okay, so you don't need hash query. Okay, so delete it, hash, delete it. Okay, this becomes empty let. Okay, since it's empty, we can take it out. Okay, fantastic. So we get the hash part. So now it's becoming clean. Now we started to this is okay, so we can see, so we got the hash part, we got the query part, and what is this file part? Okay, file parts, and what is input parts? confusing. The input parts, oh, that's already okay. So actually we can actually kind of remove it. So the input parts, thank you. So we stuck with this, yeah, this live stream, but anyway, that's what live stream coding is for. You know, we get into this complex technical, but that's real life coding. So now we split hash file part, hash part, then we split hash part, query part, then okay, then we don't need this. What is this file part? We already set file part there, and yeah, this is the previous original code. We don't need it. Okay, so that's right, remove, and this line also remove. Okay, double check. Okay, search for file part. Okay, file part there, file part is kind of temporary actually, so file part you don't need anymore, and hash part, such hash part you need. Okay, hash part such. Okay, so hash part also remove because it's here. Okay, and what is this? So this is the file path. So once you do that, then you then you expand file name to get the full path of the file. Okay, then after that you just attach back the hash part and the query string part. Fantastic, we almost done. So here is where you attach them back. Concat string. So what is this? So if file exists, then do this, otherwise error. That's right. Okay, so if file exists, you need to get the file title. You know, so you call this function to open the file, get the file title, and what is it doing? So if file exists, you do this. Okay, so file exists, that's right. Oh, all you have to do is here, right here, you concat the hash part and the query string part. There it is. Fantastic. Let's clean this up so it's easier to see. You see? I think that's it. I think that's it. All this trouble. So now let's make a backup. Go to the directory, compile it. Yes, no error. You know what? So we byte compile. We just did byte compile the Emacs Lisp file. There's an advantage of byte compile. First of all, it's faster, but also whenever you do byte compile, there's unused variables or syntax error or things like that, Emacs will tell you. So byte compile is a very good thing to do to check if your code is correct. You know, one of the preliminary steps. So we byte compiled it. Everything is good. There's no unused variables. There's no, you know, unknown variables like typo. So it's good. And let's color this. So you see, let's close it, reopen it. Let's recolor, let's recolor this. Color. Okay, so now you can see all the variables, where are they used. So actually we can try to run it. Okay, now just run the code, eval buffer. Let's go back to our previous problem. This line, we want to make it into a link. So copy, paste. Let's see. Do it. Fantastic! Can you see? You see, it changed this line, which is a the URL form of a file path, not just file path, but URL form. So there's complexities. Then it's got a query string. Then it becomes a link to this local file. You see, this is a local file link. I can press enter to open it. Show in browser. This is a Unicode search page, right? So it makes it into a link and add the title for the link. Oh, there's an error. So this string shouldn't be part of the title. Okay, there's a mistake. This query string should be part of the, should be here. Yeah, let's see if I can still open it. Fantastic. You see? Yeah, okay, let's fix it. Fix the code. Where is it? Here. Okay, so we concact. We add it to the wrong place. So this is the title part. Okay, so actually the query string should be added to God, the query string should be added to where? The relative path, file path to relative path, or URL. Okay, so oh God, this, so you need to add a concact here. You see? Okay, let's try concact that of that. Wait, that. Okay, something like that. You see, we turn the file full path into a either relative path or a URL. Okay, then let's make this easier to read. Then we add the query string back if there's any, because if there's none, it's empty string. Okay, let's just run it. Let's not think too much because live stream. Okay, let's copy that, paste, do it again, do it. Fantastic! PowerShell plus telephone, something like that. So go to the page, return to enter. Okay, now it doesn't, wait, it does. Oh, there's another bug to fix, shit. Anyway, show in browser. Wait. So, okay, so this is a link. So actually, what you have to do is what is this page? Talk show. You make a link. Okay, now remove that and remove that. Right, we don't need that. So let's put a paragraph. Cut that paragraph, paste it here, show in browser. So if we click on that, if it works, that means we did our job. So click. It worked. Fantastic. Close it. Try it again in case it's, fantastic. Thank you guys for watching the successful completion of Emacs Lisp coding. Okay, how many people are watching? 2. Oh God. Okay, that's it. So we did this after 90 minutes. Okay, yeah, we did this. And there is, there's other things to do, but that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, go to xahttml-add-related-box, xahttml-add-related-box, and then you can go all the way down to Patreon, Amazon gift card, or PayPal. Thank you guys. Bye.